How do you get through the first 7 days without nicotine, whether that is cigarettes, vapes, or pouches? Here is a practical, day-by-day plan you can actually use, not just a list of symptoms to expect. This is the plan, not a symptom map. So if you want an hour-by-hour breakdown of withdrawal timing, that is a separate video, and we will only touch on symptoms here where they change what you should do. The plan starts before day 1 with picking an actual quit day. Choose a specific date, write it down, and tell at least one person you trust, which tends to make it harder to quietly slide past. The American Cancer Society lists picking a date for your quit day as the key next step once you have decided to quit, not an afterthought you figure out the morning of. Pick a day that is not stacked with unusual stress if you can help it, since new stress on top of new withdrawal is a hard combination. On the day itself, before you do anything else, get rid of your stock. Throw away remaining cigarettes, pouches, or vape pods and get lighters, ashtrays, and charging cables out of the house. Clean anything that smells like smoke, including your car, since smell is one more familiar cue tied to the old habit. This single step removes the easiest failure path, which is simply reaching for what is already sitting in a drawer. It also helps to change the small routines that were tied to your old habit: the seat where you always vaped, the exact spot you stepped outside to smoke, the drawer where the pouches lived. You're not trying to avoid your whole life, just a handful of specific cues that used to trigger the automatic reach for nicotine. Tell the people you live or work with what you're doing this week, so they are not accidentally offering you a cigarette or lighting up next to you without thinking about it. Let me show you the tool that turns this plan into something dated and specific. On the Day 1 Quit Tools site, there is a page called Your First 7 Days Without Nicotine. You pick your product, pouch, vape, or cigarette from a simple drop-down, then you enter your intended quit date. You tap the button to build your plan, and the page generates a dated, day-by-day schedule that assigns one concrete preparation action to each date. An approach the page attributes to the same NHS withdrawal guidance we will use throughout this video. The idea is that you're never staring at a wall of advice. You're looking at exactly one thing to do on exactly one date. It is built to be printable too, so you can put it somewhere you will actually see it: on the fridge, in your car, wherever you will look during a hard moment. The page itself says the actions are educational and the sequence is not a prediction of symptoms, since timing genuinely varies from person to person, but each date still gives you one clear thing to do rather than a wall of general advice. That is the whole point of pairing a symptom source with a scheduling tool. The science tells you roughly what to expect, and the plan tells you what to actually do about it on that specific date. Now, let us talk about what a craving actually is, because understanding it changes how you handle day 1 through day 7. Cravings are uncomfortable, but Smokefree.gov is direct about this. They do not last forever, and having a plan ready before one hits is what gets you through it. Their approach breaks down into a few repeatable moves: stay busy and substitute. Staying busy means you change what you're doing the moment a craving hits, going for a walk, doing chores, or simply leaving the room you're in. Substitute means you give your hands and mouth something else to do: chewing gum, drinking water, or keeping hard candy nearby. Smokefree.gov also recommends slow breathing, in through the nose and out through the mouth, repeated 10 times as a physical way to ride out the urge. Smokefree.gov also lists trying nicotine replacement therapy, such as a lozenge gum or patch, as one more way to get past a hard craving, and a pharmacist or doctor can help you figure out which one fits. The NHS points out that the first 3 days tend to bring the strongest symptoms, so this is when you should lean hardest on these tactics, not ease up. Know your personal high-risk moments ahead of time: the coffee break, the drive home, the after-dinner routine, whatever slot used to be paired with nicotine. Walk through your day mentally the night before and decide in advance what you will do instead at each of those moments, so you're not improvising under pressure. For the coffee break, try switching the cup itself, a different mug or a different drink, so the ritual does not automatically point at nicotine. For the drive home, keep gum or a water bottle in the car before you need it, not something you plan to pick up later. For the after dinner slot, build in a short walk or a call to the person who knows you're quitting, so that moment gets filled before the craving shows up. Sleep is one of the withdrawal symptoms worth planning for specifically, since trouble sleeping is common in this window according to the NHS. Keep your evening routine as normal as possible, cut caffeine later in the day, and do not treat a rough night as a sign you are failing. It is a known part of the adjustment. Appetite often increases too, and Smokefree.gov notes that a bigger appetite and a slower metabolism are common after quitting, which is why some people gain weight if they do not plan for it. Keep easy, low-effort snacks on hand, water within reach, and treat the extra hunger as expected rather than alarming. None of this works as well done alone, and every source cited in this video points the same direction. Get support. You can call a quit line directly. In the United States, that is 1-800-784-8669, and a trained coach will talk you through exactly what you're feeling. That call is free, and the coaching is built around the same idea as this whole plan, breaking a hard week into specific manageable steps rather than one giant test of willpower. There's also a free texting option. Smokefree.gov's Smokefree TXT program sends daily encouragement and tips around the clock once you sign up. It costs nothing beyond your normal messaging rates, and you can opt out anytime, so there's very little reason not to try it during a hard week. The American Cancer Society adds that people with strong social support are more likely to quit and to stay quit, so telling a friend or partner what you're doing is not a small thing. It is a real lever. Now about slips, because they happen and how you respond matters more than the slip itself. Smokefree.gov's guidance on setbacks is blunt. If you slip and use nicotine once while trying to quit, that is not the end of the attempt. Most people need more than one try before it sticks. The move after a slip is not to spiral, it is to get specific. What triggered it? What will you do differently next time you're in that exact situation? Then you get back to the plan for the next day rather than treating one slip as permission to fully restart smoking or vaping. This is also why day-by-day tracking matters more than it sounds like it should. Instead of facing 7 abstract days at once, you only need to get through today's one task, which keeps the goal small enough to actually finish. Checking off day 1, then day 2, then day 3 gives you visible proof that you're further along than the version of you who almost gave up on day 1. That visible streak is also its own kind of support, separate from a coach or a text message, because it is evidence you can look at when a craving is telling you that quitting is not working. This tool is the free web companion to Day One, the Reno Labs app for iPhone that helps you track a quit streak day after day. If you want your own dated 7-day plan, go to renolabs.com/quit/first-7-days-without-nicotine and build it now.